What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has just won an amazing award. What an incredible achievement. They won the Zietgeist Award from the Casting Society of America for making this cast very current day and making sure to pay special attention to who was cast in these roles and what type of people they wanted to get, because that's what matters for movies now, and that's what Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker really wanted. They didn't care about box office success. Have it be the lowest earning of the sequel trilogy, that's fine. They didn't want awards for storyboard or writing or for acting, anything like that. All we care about is what the people in the movie look like, right? I'm sure that's what we were going for. And in fact, if you look at the way JJ Abrams has been running Bad Robot, specifically when casting Star Wars and everything like that, it actually makes a whole lot of sense. Maybe this is what they intended the entire time. You see here, from Collider, JJ Abrams and Katie McGrath on the importance of representation in Star Wars. The new Star Wars trilogy, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, has garnered quite a bit of fan attention, both ebullient, negative, and everything in between. But can we all agree on one thing about the new series of films and other pieces of the expanded Star Wars verse, like Rogue One and Mandalorian? It's incredible to see the galaxy populated by different faces and types. Representation matters in the media, and the new Star Wars properties have done a great job giving underrepresented communities heroes to look up to. Per Variety, at the 2020 Upfront Summit, Force Awakens Rise of Skywalker writer-director JJ Abrams and Bad Robot CEO Katie McGrath spoke to a room full of influential people about why they focus so much on representation and why we need to all do the same. Of course, this is how you should live your life. This is how everyone should live. We're Hollywood. We know. And I think it's important to see that even the person writing this, Gregory Lawrence, even the person writing on this, they said, yeah, it was a lot of mixed reviews. Some people absolutely hated it. Some people loved it, whatever. But you gotta agree that it was awesome because it was diverse. And personally, I don't think that the casting matters so much. I think that the story matters primarily more than anything else. If you don't have a good story, if you don't spend time and focus on the story, then it doesn't matter who you have act it. It does not matter. It's not going to be intriguing for a lot of people. And I think that's one of the big problems with this sequel trilogy is they thought that they could just slap whatever they wanted onto this, virtue signal a little bit, and the fact that it said Star Wars would sell. Well, it did to some extent, but definitely not the one they're looking for. And now they are still a lot in the hole from this initial investment and everything that they've put into Galaxy's Edge in making these movies, all of that. So they need to get it figured out. As Abrams and McGrath began putting together the building blocks that would become The Force Awakens, McGrath explained that they thought about building this story with the female protagonist, a set of 4 main characters, one of whom was Latinx, one of whom was a Nigerian Londoner, one of whom was a woman, and a white woman, and one of whom was a white guy. How can we find a way to have every kid who's going to see a movie see a version of themselves in a way that isn't often considered at scale? So, I think that, let me finish this paragraph. McGrath also explained that the ability to make a Star Wars film is a form of privilege. If we have this moment, this privilege, what do we do with it? And not from a place of being preachy or feeding people spinach, just from a place of, anytime you have privilege, you have an obligation, period. That's just how we try to live our lives. So they're literally saying that this is privilege and they need to do the right thing. The idea of breaking people down like that to, all right, we're looking for this, we're looking for this, we're looking for that, instead of focusing on the best person for the job, seems a little bit silly to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I shouldn't be living in this current day with thoughts like that. Abrams spoke about how he and McGrath had implemented a bad robot rule, a method of ensuring the folks who make the decisions represent the populations they serve. By McGrath's methodology, half of everyone interviewed for a job should be women, with at least 40% of these figures people of color. And Bad Robot walks the walk too. Their staff is 55% women and nearly half people of color. Well, it seems like they're really overshooting then. Shouldn't they get right on the number if they want to truly represent people? You can't have too many. Now, that looks to me to be too many people of color. They want to make sure they're representing everyone they're supposed to, right? Can't get too many people of color in there. Got to fire a couple. That's how it seems to me, playing by your rules. Will that ever happen? I don't think so. Abrams finds this makeup to be exceptional. And then this is a quote from JJ Abrams. Oh my gosh. It makes me emotional, actually, to be in meetings and to look around and see people who are never on the usual suspects list. They are never normally people you would think would normally have this job. Because they're people of color? Is that why? But they were the best people. And they were there because we made sure they had a shot. I can't tell you how much it benefited our business. No, we know it benefited Bad Robot. The fact all these connections, you have all these connections in Hollywood, that is what benefited Bad Robot. The fact that you have failed upwards and continue to fail upwards is fine. It doesn't have to do with the fact that you gave a person of color a job. It's not it. There's something here that he says, you wouldn't think they would normally have this job, but they were the best people because we made sure they had a shot. I don't think so. I don't think you're talking about hiring the best people, JJ Abrams. You're talking about hiring someone who is black or who is Hispanic or who is whatever else. I mean, I guess that's all we really heard, but that's what you're focused on. You're not focused on hiring the best person. For more on representation in show business, here's an optimistic study on women's directors in Hollywood. And for more on Star Wars, here's what we think of the future may hold. And kind of back to this whole thing like, wow, they really got too many in there. You know, what happens if you do? If you do have like 60% of minorities and someone comes in and says, hey, you need to have more white people, are then you going to deny someone a job to hire a white person because it more adequately represents the population? JJ Abrams? I don't think so, but maybe you would. And how would you feel about that? I just thought this article was absolutely insane. I think the person who sent it, who I saw it from, was Geeky Candy, if I remember right. The fact that this article exists, the fact that Katie McGrath is talking like that is kind of crazy to me. And maybe explains why what we've gotten from them has not been about story. It's been about messaging. And, oh, we have a very diverse cast. Isn't that good enough? It says Star Wars. I don't know, but I guess these are the awards. These are the awards that'll get you the Zietgeist Award from the Casting Society of America. Not box office acclaim, not critical acclaim, not any critical acclaim that matters, at least, that anyone cares about, but no, the Casting Society of America. There you go. Congratulations, Rise of Skywalker. And you can see people in the comments below. A lot of Save Ben Solos are still going on so many of these. A lot of Raylos still saying hashtag Save Ben Solo, bring Ben Solo back. Ben Solo deserved better. And then someone was asking what it was, and this guy said, probably diversity garbage that no one cares about except for... That's funny. And the Oscar goes to The Mandalorian. Interesting. But there you have it. There you can see exactly the goals for JJ Abrams and Katie McGrath from Bad Robot when they set out to make Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. That explains a lot of what we have seen. We haven't seen a good movie, that's for damn sure, but at least it's been a diverse cast, right? Let me know what you guys think of this about Bad Robot, basically solely focused on what the people look like that they hire, regardless of their talent level, what they look like being the most important thing, and how you would feel if that's how you were judged in your job. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video out there, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.